Hello. Hello, my name is Shaniki, and this is part two to why I don't like some of the Apple devices. Okay, it was one day that I had did a lot of schoolwork, and so one day I had fell asleep, and then I had woke up, and then all of a sudden it was like my phone locked me out. And I didn't owe no bills. I tried to use my password. Then I went to the Verizon place where I bought the phone at and any other devices that I bought from there, and they couldn't even help. The only thing that they said was that they were shorthanded. They didn't have the staff or the technical support in order to help me fix the phone. So they called all the way to the Apple headquarters, and they still wasn't able to fix the phone. And so since they wasn't able to fix the phone, asked the lady to take the phone back because there was no sense of me carrying a phone if the phone don't work. Then a couple of days later, the phone decided to come up missing all of a sudden. Now I don't like to talk about the place where I live because there's a lot of things that I haven't been through while living in this apartment complex, and there's a lot of things that other people had experienced while living in these apartments. So I would go ahead and say the name of the apartments, but I just strongly advise that if you do any apartment by any or like rent to any apartments in Alaska, just be careful of like who you decide to sign your leases with. I'm not saying that the lady that owns or the man that owns the apartments that I stay in is bad landlords or anything. I'm talking about the individuals that stay in the apartment. Like some of them can be some bad characters, and then we have some individuals that like to sneak in other apartments, and you don't pay no rent here, you don't do nothing here but just mooch. And so as far as the back to the story about the Apple device that I'm talking about, I'm not trying to call them moochers, but I just don't feel like you should live in an apartment complex if you ain't paying no rent, and I pay my rent. And so, as far as I'm concerned, that's how I feel about it. It ain't no ifs and buts about it. If people come in an apartment complex and try to live in an apartment complex and you don't live there, then yeah, you deserve to pay the backup rent for how many times you had lived in an apartment complex that you don't pay rent for. And like I said, the apartment complex I live in, I pay rent. And I have a lease and I'm on my lease by myself. And so because the economy is bad, so I strongly advise some of the females out there, if you get in a relationship, just make sure like it's a person that you um can trust with anything. But in the Bible it says it don't trust anybody. So I think you get the hint. And so right about now, I haven't been in no relationships ever since I moved to Alaska. Cause sometimes when you move in a place, you want to make sure if certain people or the people's okay or the environment is okay for you to still, proceed into other um purchases, like other larger purchases as such as a house or a car or anything. And if you get like vandalized or people robbing from you for just little stuff, just imagine if you decide to buy a house or a car, then they'll be right there to try to steal and rob from you there too. So back to the Apple device. So I took the device back to the store, like I said, and they said that there's nothing they can really do. So I called the place where you do the insurance because I had insurance on all my devices. And so basically I told the lady what was going on. And then so I they wanted me to pay $100 just to send me send a new device. And I was like, okay, I'll try to pay you the $100. But I didn't go ahead and pay them yet, because for by the time I was going to be able to pay for the device, like I said, the device doesn't work. It doesn't have they don't have anybody to fix it. So I thought to myself, what's the sense of me getting a new device from you if you don't have nobody to fix it if anything else happens to it? So what instead of complaining about this whole situation, I decided to switch my plan to someone else that's better than, I can't believe it, better than Verizon and Apple devices. And they might not be a big company, but their internet and everything sure work hella far better than Verizon and Apple. And you asked me, is this my first time ever buying an Apple device? No, I had an Apple computer, but somebody kept trying to come in my apartment and try to like damage my furniture. So I turned in my Apple computer because I was trying to make sure if this is a safe device to have in my house, I mean my apartment, before I further myself into get in any other Apple devices. And so right about now, do I feel like I should let this, like the things that happened with my first phone, say, should I just call it quits and just invest my money in other devices besides Apple or anything that does with Verizon? But if I still stick with Verizon, then it'll probably be other devices that don't have nothing to do with Apple. Now I understand Apple um has a headquarter overseas, but it was getting to the point where, because America didn't have the staff that was supposed to work in Verizon, it was getting to the point where I had to go nearly overseas to China just so they can just fix my phone. And that's bad. That's really bad service in America. In America, what's the sense of having um what's the sense of trading and having communication with other foreign allies if you can't even get people to work in the United States to even keep up the Apple devices, or if something goes wrong, you're not even able to change the passwords or anything for your customers. I'm not trying to put the Verizon company or Apple out there like that. I'm talking about the one in Alaska. This is the first time I ever experienced this with Apple. But now that I think about it, it took me a long time to really want it to actually feel like I wanted to purchase an Apple. And now I feel like I should have went with my instincts to never even purchase the Apple phone, to never purchase an Apple phone. And until this day, I don't think I want anything to do with you. And yes, if I have to go do a lawsuit against Apple, yeah, you're gonna pay me all my money back for the tormenting services, or actually the jacked up services that you have. It's no excuse. All right. Just because what has stopped America before? The excuse that you had said to me was that you said that you were short staffed, you had nobody in America that knew how to do technical support or how to fix anything. And all the years that I've been living in Alaska, you could have hired me because I'm a computer specialist and I could have did a technical support. And then I didn't really need to basically, when the situation happened, I could have hacked into my phone and did all the stuff that I was supposed to do. But I put it like this: like I'm not no hacker or anything like that, so I'm not going to use one of my devices that I purchased and I paid for just to get access for something that um a store, Verizon, and Apple couldn't do. So now I feel better that I switched my services. I really feel better. And my computer, Yeah, I bought it from Verizon, but it's actually not considered. The computer is a Samsung, so basically, I just right about now I don't want nothing to do with Apple because for the simple fact that you just don't have nobody to fix anything. You don't have no technical support or no real people to fix anything. And I strongly advise any American citizen right now. I'm not trying to stop nothing for no businesses or try to put somebody out there like that. But if you don't have the people in the United States to fix it, then why are you going to keep on continuously selling the Apple computer, the Apple phone, anything that has something to do with Apple device? Until you fix what you're supposed to fix with me, there's no more Apple money. Oh, my fault. There's no more of me buying or purchasing Apple from you, and you definitely ain't getting no more money or no more support from me. Until next time, this is Shanique.